Hey there, party people. Welcome back to another episode of Time Out. And today, I got somebody I want to introduce you to. Meet Rulla. Rulla is anti-MGTOW. MGTOW meaning the Go Your Own Way movement. She is in by no means support of this movement, and we're going to illustrate why. But before we do, let's look at some of her video, shall we?
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rulla Alani, and today we have a lot to discuss, you guys. Unfortunately, I've come across this community of men. They are known as MGTOW. It basically stands for men going their own way. And how I was introduced to this community is by a comment on one of my videos. It was the video where I talked about when men settle down and when men get married, and I was sharing really informative statistics on what age men get married and why it's different from country to country and things like that.
So, as she already illustrated, you can already tell by what she said, she is anti-MGTOW. And what she said on one of the comment section in her videos, she is a YouTuber, as you can see here. She's got several videos posted up, and we're going to dive into that a little bit more closely in a little bit.
And I got a comment saying most men are going their own way. And I had no idea what that meant. So I did some research and I was shocked. So in this video, we're going to talk about the community, what they're doing, what they're thinking, and why it's extremely problematic.
See? Again, problematic. She's got a problem with the MGTOW movement. And just like most women, she's got it all wrong. This is not exactly what she thinks, but she read some stuff online and she formulated her own opinion, and henceforth this video.
So let me give you guys a little bit of background about the community, because it is not a small community. If it was not a mainstream community, then I wouldn't be here on my channel discussing it. But it's quite large. So they call their community a manosphere, like instead of atmosphere. It's all about men.
It's all about men, because men don't really matter, so it's all about men.
And in a nutshell, they're an anti-feminist movement. It's this whole community of men who aim to separate themselves from women. And there are kind of different levels. And it's super, super silly because they try to parallel the main.
See, again, there it is. Just being dismissive. There's a reason why organizations pop up. And then, a bunch of people flock to those organizations or movements or just beliefs or way of thinking. I don't think MGTOW is an organization. It's just a way of thinking for some men. And you have to understand that, civil rights activists exist because people's rights are being violated. There's a reason why feminism exists, because there are men who violated women's civil liberties. It happens. And the reason why the MGTOW movement or belief system exists for a lot of men is because a lot of men have been violated.
Tricks with like the different pills, like the red pill, the blue pill, whatever. So basically, during stage one, it's like a man who recognizes that women are a certain way and they have very misogynistic views on women, which we'll get into. But they still choose to do life with women. They still choose to settle down with a woman. But in their head, they kind of know that women are extremely harmful, in their opinion. Now,
in their opinion. So women aren't harmful. It's just their opinion.
Stage two is a man who says, you know what, I'm actually going to refrain from marriage. I'm going to refrain from even settling down or having kids.
She's triggered by this.
Maybe I might partake in like short, casual relationships or, friendships with coworkers. But beyond that, I'm not getting in a relationship. I'm not going to have a family and so forth. Then there is this extreme sense of MGTOW. And this is men who completely want to dissociate themselves from women altogether. They don't even want to communicate with any women, whether it be family, a neighbor, a friend. And right off the bat, I'm sure you guys can see why this is problematic.
Right off the bat, if there are guys that don't want to associate with women, they weren't associating with women before this. So it's not like this brought people to the drinking hole. That these dudes were already sipping the Kool-Aid before this thing happened. So it's not like, oh, MGTOW is turning men into this. No. If a guy was already talking about, no, there's no benefits to get married, he thought this a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. He already had this revelation. Lady, it didn't just happen, Rulla. And we're going to get into why she doesn't want this to happen. Stay tuned.
Instead of empowering women and being happy that women are being granted more rights
We
when it
are.
comes to business, when
We
it
are.
comes to politics, when it comes to
We are.
all across the board, women are progressing, and we've been progressing. Now,
Okay.
men in this community find that to be threatening, which is absurd to me because we still live in a patriarchal society.
Men don't find that threatening. The men who believe in MGTOW don't find women's rights threatening. They don't. I've talked to several of them. They do not. They just don't want men to be oppressed. They don't like the child support system. They don't like the two-sidedness of society, the way that things go for women, but for men, no. Let's take like feelings, for example. Women can express their feelings, but a lot of women who have a man that expresses their feelings, they call them the P word, right? It happens all the time.
Even in 2021, being born as a man is literally giving you an advantage head start in life. So the fact that they're anti-feminist is already just so disappointing to me.
See, and she needs to clarify. I'm an African American man. I know you can't tell it because I'm blue, but I'm an African American man. You could probably hear it in my voice, just by the way that I speak. But African American men, Hispanic men, Asian men are not born with a silver spoon in their mouth. We're not born with an advantage. That's white men. White men are given this advantage. They're born with a leg up. They're halfway through the race before the race even starts. And we are way behind. So, no, it is not all men.
Now, they have
and there are a lot of poor men too.
3,000 members, and they have a forum containing conversations on more than 50,000 topics. The site also lists 25 video channels, and they have around 730,000 followers, and their videos have been viewed around 130 million times. Now, I even felt like I should not be giving these guys views when I was doing some research for this video, but it just had to be done so I could kind of understand how this begun, what their beliefs are, and so I could give you guys my take on it.
So glad you talked about research, and I'm glad you talked about takes, because Rulla, I think I'm going to do a little take on you. So, like I specified before, Rulla does have a YouTube channel. So I'm going to enlarge this up a little bit here, and you can tell here what Rulla is interested in. So if you want to know about a person and their interests, their likes, why they make the videos they make, look at a lot of online dating videos. So why you should online date, right? Down here. So first dates. Before you go on a first date, watch this. So my top dating etiquette tips. So top 10 tips to becoming a magnet for a gentleman. So she's fully vested in having this MGTOW, I guess people keep calling it movement, but the way of thinking for some men, she doesn't want that to happen because she's in the dating space. This is a main reason why she doesn't want to. So let's look at number 2. Here's her Instagram. So you can see in her Instagram, I took a snapshot of it, and she likes to go to exotic places. And here's another video of her writing an article. I met my boyfriend on an elite dating app. So Rulla is in her 40s. So if Rulla's in her 40s and she's writing articles and she's on elite dating apps, and then it looks like her boyfriend is taking her to some exotic places and doing exotic things on Instagram. So, and she's also made videos teaching other women how to get themselves an exotic male or a rich man, which is what she's after. So, if men began to go their own way, she would lose her perks and her benefits. So if her boyfriend decided, you know what, I think this MGTOW thing has a little merit to it. I think I'm going to dive in a little further, Rulla. I'm going to leave you on the curb. She would be asked out, gentlemen. She would be out. So she has a vested interest in not letting this thing go as far as it needs to go. She's trying to shut it down any way that she can shut it down. That's her thing. And you notice, even in her videos, her MGTOW one that's on the second row, second from the end, it has the most views of all her videos combined. So this little thing right here is helping to give her a little more traction. So she's trying to stop the MGTOW movement or the MGTOW mindset from being a thing, because it's going to personally affect her. So Rulla, thanks for making the video. You've been exposed. There you go. Guys, appreciate you hanging out for me. Appreciate you for hanging out with me. And yeah, don't give this lady no play, no time. And if you're her boyfriend looking at this, dude, you could do better. It's your boy Lee. Thanks for hanging out with me. Deuces.